Welcome everyone to another session of Coffee Talks. First of all, I want to make an announcement for the ticket sales of Cartan. This time, this week we have ticket sales for Colombia and Chile. You can go directly into the website of cartanglobal.com. And next week, we're gonna have sales in the following countries that you can see here. You have countries we're gonna have the sale in Jamaica, Aruba, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, Cayman Islands, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, that today our guest is from that beautiful country, Ecuador, Micronesia, Grenada, Guam, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Panama, Puerto Rico, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, and Virgin Islands. So you see we represent a lot of countries, and it's a long list, and you can go directly onto our website, cartanglobal.com, for more information. Well, thank you again, and we have a special guest today from the Dominican Republic, my dear friend, Manuel Luna. He's the former president of the Dominican Republic Football Federation, soccer for you guys in the US. And he's the executive director for a nonprofit organization called Creso, which stands for Creando Sueños Olímpicos, which means creating Olympic dreams, that supports high performance athletes in the Dominican Republic and in their development in sport and outside sport as well. Welcome, Manuel. Pleasure to have you here and to hear you. And could you please tell us a bit more about Creso and how did it started and how did you start the position there?
Hi, Ronnie. Yes, thank you very much to my friends in Cartan. Long relationship with them, with Creso and Cartan, and I'm very pleased that the one making this coffee talk today is you, which is a friend that I have made thanks to Cartan relationship. So thank you at all. And I want to start the conversation making a toast with not a coffee, because I don't drink coffee, but making a toast because yesterday was the anniversary of the inauguration of the Olympic in Rio 2016.
Yeah.
And I would like to make it in our favorite sport, cup, golf.
Nice.
So
Love it.
And pleased to be
Yes.
doing this interview.
Yes.
Let
No,
me
good
explain a
one.
little bit. First of all, I want to apologize because of my English. This is not my nature language,
You're
and
good.
it's going to be my first interview in English.
Yeah.
So I apologize for all the people that are watching, and maybe I make some.
Thank you for the effort, Manuel. I mean, we're doing it for our global community in Cartan. So thank you for doing the effort in English.
So Creso is a non-for-profit organization, as you said, that was founded in 2010 because Felipe Vicini, who was the founder, thought that if the private sector can invest in giving a little bit extra for building these Olympic dreams, we, as Dominican Republic, could maintain the success that we had in Peking 2008, in Beijing 2008. What happened in Beijing? Dominican Republic won 2 medals, 1 gold and 1 silver. And there was a newspaper release that said that Dominican Republic was the winner of those Olympic Games because of the population of the country, the investment in sports, and the rate per capita. We were the winners, and we won. And he thought that if we can invest from the private sector to help the public sector to keep in this success, we can maintain sport as one of the big supports of development of the Dominican Republic. And that's why I became part of this program at that time when I used to work for the company that founded the program that it's called Vicini. In that time, now it's called Inicia. So I enter over there, but just like overwatching the program in 2016, my role changed because I founded my own company that is a public relations company. But I stayed managing as executive director this program that is called Creso. We invest in 16 different sports that are the sports that have the best performance in Dominican Republic or the best projection to qualify for the Olympics. So we started that program in 2010 with only 6 sports and 24 athletes, and nowadays we have more than 100 athletes and more than 16 sports. And we are having it's very sad that we couldn't have the Tokyo Olympics this summer, but we were having the best Olympics cycle in this from after Rio 2016. In the Central American Games, we have the best results that we have ever had. That was in Barranquilla, in Colombia, in 2018. Then in Lima last year, in 2019, we had the best performance ever in a Pan American Games, and we had the projection to have the best, at least qualifying team for the Olympic Games in Tokyo, but now we have to wait till 2021.
So it started basically in London 2012, right? That's the year that it started.
No, it started before, 2 years before, with the Central American Games in Mayagüez. After that, we went to Guadalajara in 2011, and the first Olympic Games were, of course, the games that were held in London 2012. That's correct. Okay, and so when it started, did you see results? I mean, how many medals did you win in London 2012 from Dominican Republic? We won in London. Today it is the 8th anniversary of that date, by the way. 6th of August of 2012. We won 2 medals. Felix Sanchez won his second gold medal in an Olympics, and was the first silver medal for Luyelin Santos, who ran that same day after Felix, and he ran the 400 meters. We saw the success, of course, but it has been a growing organization and a growing success, because we don't only see the success in terms of medals, we also see the success in terms of qualifying, because at the end of the day, building the Olympic dream is not necessarily being a medalist. Yeah. Just the fact of getting there and qualifying to the Olympics is a big achievement for Dominican athletes, and we want to get them there. We have a set in Creso that you need 2 things to succeed in sports. One is talent. With that, you are born as an athlete. Yes. And the second one is, we say it in Spanish, fogueo, that it's competition. You need to compete to get better. Exposure, we call it in English. Exposure. Okay. Exposure. And that's what Creso is for. We are there to guarantee those athletes that they're going to have the funds so they can go to those competitions that will make them better and better and better, and make them qualify for the Central American, for the Pan American, and for the Olympic Games. That's how the program is structured, and we have seen this growth since 2010 over and over and over, and that's why in this cycle, this actual cycle that started with the Barranquilla Games 2 years ago, is the best that we have had as a country ever. And it's a thing that a very important aspect is that it's not only Creso merit. It's an effort that we are making all together. The public sector, the Olympic Committee of the Dominican Republic, and also, of course, the Creso organization, that is an organization that is supported by 10 big companies of the Dominican Republic, that they give their money every year as a donation for building these Olympic dreams. So it's basically made by private funds, it's private organizations, private companies. Yes, there are private funds. We raise around 1,007,000 $700,000 every year, and that we allocate that money in the different federations for supporting them, buying the tickets for the competition, the accommodations, the trainings, base camps, and those things that people have to understand. That's normal for United States, for Europe, or whatever. But in our little countries, it's difficult sometimes to find the funds to get up to a competition. And for the public sector, that is a public sector that has to deal with everyday emergency and everyday situation. Sometimes they cannot pay in advance for a competition because the money that they have at that moment is to solve another type of problem. So what Creso is complementing the public investment, guaranteeing to those federations and to those athletes that they're going to have these events that are the major events with the participation is going to be guaranteed for them. It's going to be solved that problem. That the athlete don't need to think and, oh, will I be traveling? When I'm going to be traveling? Will I find the funds? Will the trainer come with me or I will go alone? Those type of questions that used to be everyday question for an athlete in that scenario or at that level, nowadays is no. Aldrin Nin, that is a gymnastic, in January he's already with the knowledge that in October he's going to the world championship, and he just have to focus and train every day to get there.
Organized, like focus on what you need to do, that it's perform and like develop and fogueo, like exposure, and not worried about logistics or how to get the money.
That's right.
I mean, that's great. But like, let's go behind these companies. Why are they interested in investing in sports? I mean, they have, what's the main reason why? I mean, they want to help the athletes, obviously, but what's the main reason they want to do?
You know, that's a very good question, Ronnie, because it's not only an investment in the sport. One of the conditions for an athlete be a part of Creso is that they have to study. Normally in the Dominican Republic, what we had years ago or decades ago, it's that you have a high performance athlete that is a very successful, that was very successful in his career, but when he retires, he didn't have any educational preparation to keep going in a productive life. So we have built a program inside Creso that not only cares for their sport development, but for their educational preparation. So every athlete has a scholarship for during his sport career, and they have to keep doing their sports, but also going to university or school or whatever. Now we have seen those results, and we have Olympic medalists that were outside school at the time that they entered Creso, and we told them, hey, don't go back to school. We want to support you, but you need to go to the university and have a degree. And now we have a Gabriel Mercedes that is a silver medalist in Beijing, that is he has a bachelor in accounting, and he's also going around the world giving speeches, motivational speeches about sport and how to become a better human being. You have a Lujelin Santo that was not even a graduate in high school when he entered Creso. He graduated from school and he graduated from university, and now he's completing an English program so he can be bilingual, and he is still qualifying for Tokyo. And he won a gold medal in Singapore in the Youth Olympic game over there in 2010, and then the silver medal in London. So we are building a program that focuses on these two things. And so answering to your question, what are these companies looking for? they want a better Dominican Republic, because they want that this leadership that those athletes are making in the sports career, when they retire, can take that leadership to the business
or their careers outside sports.
environment,
Yeah.
or to federations, and they can continue their development as human being, and impacting positively to the development of the Dominican Republic.
No, very nice. No, and they also like help them after their athletes, their career athlete. No, like if they want to become something else. I mean, besides the education, do you have like a post-career program as well, right? That you help them
Yes.
find a
We
job.
started in 2020. We started a program that is making we evaluate them psychologically, and what are
Their skills, no? Their
skills, of course. So we can enter them to make or internships or a formal job in companies, not only inside the Creso environment, but in the Dominican Republic company or business environment.
No, very nice. And for your experience now, I mean, you've probably been to multiple competitions now with supporting athletes, being behind, like other transition from training to the competition. Do you have a special moment in any international competition that you follow these athletes?
I have so many special moments, Ronnie, and I cannot answer just one. But I'm gonna try to mention a few, if you allow me.
Perfect, please.
When I was young, not a kid, but we held here in Dominican Republic. I was 19 in 2003, the Pan American Games. At that time, we had two events where the Dominican Republic won the gold medal that the country went crazy. The first of them was the gold medal of Felix Sanchez in the stadium, in the Olympic stadium that nowadays it's called
Explain
Felix Sanchez
who's Felix Sanchez to all the people that don't know the great Felix Sanchez of Dominican
Felix
Republic.
Sanchez was the first Dominican who won a gold medal in an Olympics in Athens 2004. After that, he went to a batch, and in Beijing, he ran the same day as his grandmother has passed away, and he was the last in his flight, so he was disqualified, and he had a challenge at that moment to retire or to try to make it again, and he emerged as a phoenix. That's called in English too, phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
Okay, and he won the gold medal again in 2012. That was another moment. I wasn't present in London at the moment, but when I saw that on TV, cries came out of my ears and out of my eyes. But in that time, in 2003, we won the gold medal, and that's the only time that stadium have been with full capacity in that competition. And our other competition was in the gold medal that we won in volleyball with the Reinas del Caribe. Cuba always won the gold medal in volleyball in
just Reinas del Caribe is the women's team volleyball, the volleyball team for the Dominican Republic. Yeah.
In the women's volleyball, Cuba was the queen all the time, and they used to be the Reinas del Caribe, and that was the first time that we beat Cuba. And when we got to the finals with them, we saw the potential of the girls, and the country was expecting that for the first time we can beat them. And the stadium had a capacity of 5,000 people, and we were like 10,000. I was sitting in the stairs. Imagine that. Everyone was upon other people, and that was amazing. After that, nowadays in my Creso lab, those were the moments, the memorable moments before Creso in my life. After Creso, I
Like
have
in
a
Olympic
few.
Games. What about Olympic Games? Like
In
moments?
2016, I was with Luisito Pie. Before the competition, he was trying to get to the finals.
He's a
And
Taekwondo fighter.
he's a Taekwondo fighter, that's right. He lost the match that will guarantee the silver medal. So he went back to the back side of the tatami, and he was there like molished. And I remember I was there with a trainer, and I gave him two palmaditas. I don't know how to
Taps,
say it.
like a little taps, like
Little
motivating
taps
him.
over there,
Yeah.
like, let's go on. There are a lot of people like pushing you from Dominican Republic, 10
Like
million people
cheerings, yeah.
cheering you for this silver medal. So he, with her trainer, like he refocused, went back again to the tatami, fighting for that bronze medal, and he was in a tie. So they went to the goal point, and we were so stressed out because at that time
Taekwondo is so stressful. Yeah.
we were in the line like this could be the end of the Dominican Republic in the Olympics, and we, for the first time since Athens, it's gonna be the first time that we won win not even one medal. So when that goal point came, we were like, "Whoa!" And I'm telling you, and I have a chicken.
Yeah.
¿Cómo que se
But,
dice? Piel de gallina.
I get the chills, you say. I get the chills.
I get the chills in English.
That's the power of sport, you know? That's what,
the power of sport.
sport
Another
and
big moment.
the other things give you chills like that.
Another moment was last year in Lima. I had two moments in Lima, very very important. One of them was in the jump of Aldrin and gymnastic. That was he won gold and was an amazing jump. And I was next to the little trail that they run for the jump.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
another moment was with Robert Pigosi. He's a ski athlete, water ski.
water skiing.
Yeah, and in the Pan American Games we have water ski, even though in Olympics we don't have it. Well, I don't know why, because if you have skiing in the Winter Olympics, you should have a ski in the Summer Olympic, but that's another.
It's probably gonna evolve, maybe, and maybe hopefully wakeboard too for our friend Jorge Rocha. He can make it to the Olympics as well.
And Robert was at that moment in Lima. It's very cold. It was winter, and the temperature was, I don't know, 15 degrees Celsius, and I was with this jacket, and I started, because of I was nervous, and I started sweating. So I took out the jacket, and I'm still sweating because he need to make that last run so he can win the gold medal that we were looking for, and also making an Pan American record. And he accomplished both. We were like going crazy over there at that moment. And a very sentimental moment was with Victor Estrella. He's a tennis player, the best tennis player that we have had in Dominican Republic ever. And every time that I saw Victor playing, I got really, really stressed out in every point. But the moment that he retired last year was very special for me, and we cried like, I don't know, for 3 days because we couldn't believe it, because we were hoping that maybe Victor can make it to the Tokyo Olympics with 40 years old. So, but he couldn't make it. I say we because I'm part of.
You're part of it. You become part of the athlete's journey, that not being there as well. So, no, nice. But I mean, now you're talking about all your stories and how valuable it is to be live in a sporting event. You know, I mean, of course you can watch it on TV and it's really moving too. for your experience, I mean, you've traveled with Cartan as well. You traveled to the Olympics Games in Rio 2016. What was the feeling? You were talking about the opening ceremonies when we started. How was the feeling of being in the stadium, being in the opening ceremony in Olympic Games? Describe that in Maracanã. What did you feel there?
People, if you haven't been in an Olympic Games, you have to go. Please start saving, but at least once in your life. If you love a sport, you need to feel it, because the atmosphere, being there, and let me tell you, Maracanã was amazing. Was an experience, an extraordinary experience. But one of the most amazing feelings for me, that I used to be an athlete, I was not as good like to be in a Central American.
What was your sport?
American Games, but being in the Olympic Village. Wow, with all those athletes over there, the environment, when they compete, feeling the heat, and for example, being in Rio, in a game, Brazil against Argentina. Oh wait, that's like being in a FIFA World Cup. It's amazing. But the difference is that you can feel that rivalry in many sports at the same time, not only in one sport. So it's an amazing opportunity. And if you haven't been there and you are watching this interview, please call Cartan, because there are going to be tickets available, and you need to go to Tokyo if you have the chance.
No, it's I couldn't agree more. And I mean, the power of sports, again, we've said it multiple times, but to be in an event, to be in an opening ceremony, for me, it's been amazing. Like, for example, in the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, the moment that the two Koreas, South Korea, North Korea, like march together, that only happens in sports. That has no right. And to be in the stadium and watch that, I mean, watching on TV, it's really moving as well. But to be in the stadium, even if it was freezing cold in Pyeongchang, it was amazing. But in Tokyo, I mean, Tokyo's it's a great city, and hopefully the games are happening. But there's nothing to reviving a live sports, no?
Oh, it's true that in television you can appreciate a lot more aspect of the game that you cannot watch it live. But the feeling that you have, the moving that you have, the adrenaline that you have over there, being at Copacabana Beach, watching a game that from Brazil against United States in women's beach volleyball, with that environment over there in that scenario, it was thrilling. You know, it's amazing. It's indescribable. You and me, we love golf. For the first time, golf went back to an Olympic Games in Rio. And that event was incredible. More than 12,000 people watching golf at the same time in the same hall, with Henrik Stenson and Justin Rose fighting for the gold medal in that last hole. Was incredible. Feeling that and be able to talk about that with my little daughter when she grow up, that's gonna be like so amazing. I am so grateful for having those experiences. Thanks God that I'm a person who loves sport, and I have been able to enjoy these events. So thanks Creso and thanks Dominican Republic and our athletes that make this possible. So it's amazing, Ronnie.
Oh, thank you, Manuel, for sharing those experiences. They're pretty valuable. And like in Tokyo, I cannot even imagine how good it's gonna be if the games happen. And with the Japanese are really good. The technology is great. And
you and I, we have been there 2 times, and I believe last time I was there was November 2018, and when we were there, it seems that the games could be happening in 6 months. So they are really prepared for the games. I think these are going to be, no matter what, an amazing Olympic Games. Let's hope that the pandemic situation It's going to be more control for that time next year. And I'm sure that we're going to have an outstanding Olympic event.
Perfect. No, thank you, Manuel. I mean, it's been half an hour already. It went pretty fast.
Already?
Yeah, it's been half an hour. If you have some time, I can ask you a couple more questions here from the people on the chat.
Okay, let's go. Let's go for it. If you have time, I have time.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So Vanessa is asking, how many athletes are enrolled in Creso at the moment?
At the moment, we have around 130 athletes. From those, 100 are active in sports, and there are 30 that they are in their retirement process, but they are still completing their studies, and we keep supporting them so they can finish their degrees and start their professional career after sports.
Okay. Oh, nice. And for example, how do you choose the sports, for example, in Creso? Like, do you?
That's a very good question. We make a technical evaluation with the sport specialists that are in the Minister of Sports of the Dominican Republic and the Olympic Committee, and we evaluate their programs every 4 years. Every federation have to present to Creso like their merits to be part of our program, and they present the projection and their path to make it to the Olympics, and who are the athletes that are going to be part of that federation. So we make the evaluation, and we then with those technical with this technical support, we make the decision, and we start to invest in the process for the Olympic cycle complete, looking forward, and we make a midterm evaluation after the Central American sports. We have in the cycle, we have the Bolivarian Games,
yeah.
Juegos Bolivarianos. After that, we have the Central American Games. Then we have the Pan American Games, and then of course for the closing and the cherry on the top is the Olympic Games. Yeah. After Tokyo, we are gonna make again an evaluation, and federations that are not in the program right now, they can like make a bid for be inside the program.
And which sports do you have now, for example?
Let me see if I remember all of them. There are 16 or 17. We have athletics, weightlifting, boxing, fencing, judo, karate, taekwondo, tennis, table tennis, swimming, equestrian, basketball.
3-on-3 basketball or the full team?
Both.
Oh, okay.
We have skating. We have sailing with kite surf. We have golf.
So not only Olympic sports. I mean, yeah, nice.
They are all they are all Olympics.
Nice.
That's they need to be Olympics. If for example, I cannot support Robert Pigosi, that it's the number 4th water skier of the world, because his sport is not Olympic. It's only Pan American. You know, I cannot support in bowling, because bowling is not an Olympic game. It's not an Olympic sport, even though we have very, very good bowlers in Dominican Republic. Yeah. We only support.
Too bad. My dad is a bowler, so he's watching probably, and he doesn't gonna like that. But I say it all the time. Bowling, unfortunately, is not an Olympic sport, but it's a great sport, and nothing against bowling. Yeah,
it is indeed, and very funny.
Yes. So Manuel, I mean, we went to half an hour, and we normally ask some rapid fire questions. We call them, like you just answered with one word. I'll start with this one that I probably know the answer, and I'm looking forward to hearing it. But what's the best athlete in history for you? Your favorite one?
Oof.
Best athlete, complete athlete.
That's too tough. My favorite. I'm not gonna say who's the because the best we can debate. You can go with many athletes and who's the best, from Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Federer, Nadal, Senna. There's so many that we cannot agree on who's the best. Who's my favorite? It's Rafael Nadal.
I knew
But
it.
he's gonna be my favorite always after Felix Sanchez. My favorite athlete in the world is the Dominican athlete that is called Felix Sanchez, the only and the last athlete
Great
that won
athlete.
the Gold Diamond League in athletics. So
And great human being too. He's helping a lot of athletes, no? And in Dominican Republic now, he created his own academy, and
That's right.
he's doing a good job there, no?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right. But there are so many good athletes, but let me tell you, like, if I have to choose like the best, at least I have to say, and I'm not a Tiger Woods fan at all, and my friends know it very, very, very well. But Tiger Woods changed his sport. He's the only athlete that have changed his sport completely. The golf course have to make it longer because of him. The technology changed because of him. Golfers start making workout because of him. He changed the way golf was played, and he was unbeaten for so many tournaments in a row that's gonna be unbeatable in any other sport. That's why I think maybe Tiger have been the best.
No, good answers. I expected the one from Rafa Nadal. I knew it.
Yeah.
Next one. So you have like an example of a sport leader in the administrative side, like a sport administrator. I remember we talked once about the FIFA president, but you have an example of a leader in sport, outside sport, who does administrative tasks like you do, that you really look up to?
Oh, that's also a very difficult question, but I will say Juan Antonio Samaranch. He's not alive anymore, but I think the Juan Antonio
from Spain, right?
Yeah,
from Spain,
who was the leader that made the Olympics were done in Barcelona 1922. That for me have been the greatest Olympics ever. Juan Antonio Samaranch.
And one last questions that I like to address are the future generations and the future of sport. If you give one tip to an athlete, a future athlete, what would it be? What would you say to one of your pupils in Creso that he's young, like 15 years old, starting his sport? What would you advise him?
Keep dreaming, fighting every day. Every day you're gonna fall, but you need to keep dreaming and keep standing up and looking for making that dream come true.
Nice. Well, Creando Sueños Olímpicos, creating Olympic dreams. Where can people find more information about Creso? Creso.org. What's the website?
Creso RD, Creso RD from República Dominicana, Dominican Republic. CresoRD.org.
Okay, so CRESORD.org.
That's right.
Check it out. It's a great organization. Really admire what Mr. Vicini has done there, and of course Manuel Luna,
Mr. Vicini, and all the companies that support,
and the whole companies that support. Correct. And here we have Ana Paula in the crowd. Saludos de Ana Paula here.
I love Ana P.
And well, thank you, Manuel. Thank you for your time.
And that's a very good leader. Her boss is a very good leader.
I agree. Ivar Cisniega. Yes.
Well, I was talking about I was talking about Neven Illich. Ivar is very good also too in the administration, but Neven has been a very good president of Panama Sport and have made a revolution in Latin America in the organization of sports and national Olympic committees.
Couldn't agree more. They did a great games in Lima. I was fortunate to be there on YouTube. Amazing. I was really impressed with their job and what they did. High class, high quality games.
And a lot of that was because of Ana Paula. So thanks Ana Paula for that.
She's a jack of all trades, Ana Paula, as we call it. She can do everything.
That's right.
And yeah, and they're doing now the expert connection. It's similar to Coffee Talks, but they have really good other guests there. And they had one really interesting about Cuban scientists today. It was really interesting. But check that out too if you guys are into webinars, Panam Sports Expert Connection. Well, just to say goodbye to everyone and thank you everyone for being here. Again, there's a ticket sale for the Tokyo Olympics now going on for Chile and Colombia. And next week, there's another sale. I'll share my screen so you can see all the countries that are gonna be. It's again, Jamaica, Aruba, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, Cayman Islands, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Micronesia, Grenada, Guam, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Panama, Puerto Rico, San Lucia, San Kitts and Nevis, San Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, and Virgin Islands. So go to cartanglobal.com and you can see all the ticket order process. And again, thank you all for tuning in to another Coffee Talks edition. And thank you, Manuel, for a good chat. Always good seeing you. And we will see you all next week. Gracias, Manuel.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you to Cartan. Cartan has always been a very good support for all of us here in our Dominican Olympic Committee and for Creso too. So thank you for all the support that you have always given us, especially to Greg and all the team around around Cartan. Thank you for having us and explain our watchers a little bit more about Creso and the Olympic movement here in the Dominican Republic. Thank you very much, and let's look forward to seeing us again in Tokyo.
Tokyo. No, thank you, and great job, Creso. Again, it's great what you guys do. It's really an example for other countries, especially in Latin America. It's amazing, and thank you, Manuel, for sharing it. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Manuel. Gracias. Arriba Dominicana. Ciao.
Arriba.